This place is getting to me. I think I'm getting the fear.
Nonsense. We came here to find the American dream. Now that we're right in the vortex, you want to quit? You must realize, man, we found the main nerve.
That's what gives me the fear.
This is why I call 2025 the year of surprises.
Daddies are more stronger than mommies.
People don't pretend to be gay.
Do you have the internet?
Huh?
To slash drug prices by 200%, 300%, 400%, 500%, 600%, 700%, 800%. Nobody's ever heard of it before.
I'm setting the example. And what I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever.
It reads your mind, and it loves you, and it wants it. It doesn't care if you kill it, because it's going to just go be with God again.
200%, 300%, 400%, 500%, 600%, 700%, 800%. Nobody's ever heard of it before.
So if all of a sudden you have more people being gay, which you do, what?
No, you don't. People don't pretend to be gay.
Do you have the internet?
Huh?
And you know, when I always talk about politics, I say that it's politricks.
Toxic masculinity is the fastest
Totally
way
different issue.
to servitude.
Totally different
Ask any
issue.
Pakistani. That's why I like
Kind of not only want to see them killed in the water, whether they're on the boat or in the water, but I'd really like to see them suffer. I would like Trump and Hegseth to make it last a long time so that they lose a limb and bleed out a little. Like, I'm really having a difficult time ginning up sympathy for these guys who 10 seconds earlier almost got taken out by the initial bomb, but because they managed to get ejected, a little too soon, had to be taken out in the water. I realize legally it may make a difference, but truly, Mark, this is a tough case to really gin up the sympathies of the American.
Please God, when I wake up, let me be
200%, 300%, 400%, 500%, 600%.
And you know, when I always talk about politics, I say that it's politricks.
Nobody's ever heard of it before.
I'm setting the example. And what I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever.
It reads your mind, and it loves you, and it wants it. It doesn't care if you kill it, because it's going to just go be with God again.
That's about fun.
200%, 300%, 400%, 500%, 600%, 700%, 800%, 200%, 300%.
I'm setting the example.
400%, 500%, 600%.
And what I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever.
Nothing happens in the world? Are you out of your fucking mind? People are murdered every day. There's genocide, war, corruption. Every fucking day, somewhere in the world, somebody sacrifices his life to save somebody else. Every fucking day, someone somewhere takes a conscious decision to destroy someone else. People find love, people lose it. For Christ's sake, a child watches a mother beaten to death on the steps of a church. Someone goes hungry. Somebody else betrays his best friend for a woman. If you can't find that stuff in life, then you, my friend, don't know crap about life. And why the fuck are you wasting my 2 precious hours with your movie? I don't have any use for it. I don't have any bloody use for it.
Okay, thanks.
He walked out in the gray light and stood, and he saw for a brief moment the absolute truth of the world. The cold, relentless circling of the intestate earth. Darkness implacable. The blind dogs of the sun in their running. The crushing black vacuum of the universe. And somewhere 200 animals trembling like ground foxes in their cover. Borrowed time and borrowed world and borrowed eyes with which to sorrow it.
And lo, for the earth was empty of form, and void, and darkness was all over the face of the deep, and we said, look at that fucker dance.
Welcome to the Death of the Universe, a podcast that the troublesome Creek Times of Knott County, Kentucky, once called irony poisoned and cycled through the new sincerity and back again several times over, long before the monoliths of Twitter and Patreon-based livelihoods reigned supreme, on a razor's edge between toxic and non-toxic self-consciousness. It is 11:36 a.m. That's anti-meridium to you, KST, Korea Standard Time to me. Sunday, December 7th, year of our Lord and the Snake, 2025. Only got a little time left on that year of the Snake, I just realized. It's going to be different soon. You're listening to the strained reaches of language of me, Joshua. How am I not myself? Nomen Mutatio. And as always, broadcasting from that back alley behind Winky's Diner in Mulholland Drive is Tim Horgos Lathimost Buckner.
Nailed it. Oh, you know me. I'm always happy to be on the only podcast, Josh, that's willing to ask the question, what's the difference between Luigi Mangione and Pete Hegseth?
What is it? What could it possibly be?
Luigi Mangione only killed one vague terrorist. How you doing tonight, Josh?
I'm doing great on this reverse night over here on the other side of the planet. Yeah, I want to kick things off with new official mission statement of the podcast is the following. I'm finna turn Chinese. That's right. This has been my favorite thing to listen to for the last week. Yes. And thank you, Tim, for alerting me to this amazing TikTok.
Yeah. That guy, like, kind of went, like, semi-viral for just, like, basically the whole thing is that his voice is just like that. So I think that's, like, it. But, like, that song is the best thing that he's done. You know what I mean?
It's so good. It's so good that it makes me want to scream. Please God, when I wake up, let me be Chinese. Praying to God to make me Chinese.
Yeah. It's all I really want.
I want to say close contender. Maybe it's not, but let's say second place to those two clips we just heard. Maybe my favorite isolated clip would probably be this one.
It reads your mind and it loves you and it wants you. And it doesn't care if you kill it because it's going to just go be with God again. What's more virgin than a computer? That's true.
But yes, please God, let me turn Chinese. I'm finna turn Chinese.
Oh,
you heard
I'm sick and tired of not being Chinese.
Yeah. This is something about the subtle, like, awkward grammar of it that makes it's just the chef's kiss to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even cut that one. Like, I'm sick of being not Chinese. That was the best one. Damn it! Why didn't I cut that?
Pretty good. That is a pretty good one.
I'm sick of being not Chinese. All right, next week.
So good.
Next week, I'm going to add on to the mission statement.
Yeah. Look forward to. Well, that's not the mission statement. That's the God, what's the word I'm looking for? That's the inspiration for the mission statement.
Yes. I guess we should shout that guy out, right? Is Auntie something? Like aunt? Like
Auntie boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like your aunt. Yeah.
Like your aunt. But enough of all this fun stuff. We got to get into the serious shit.
Hold up. Yeah. Let me ask you something, please.
Yeah. What's up? What's going on?
I don't know. I was waiting for you. You were moving on.
Thought you were literally going to ask me something. Did I miss you?
No. I was just referencing. Yeah, I was just doing the drop, but with my voice. The Glenn Greenwald. Let me ask you something, please. And then,
sorry.
Then you move on to the the ad read. It's okay.
I missed it. Well, I guess
fine.
Speaking of R and Brown favorites, I guess this is old news. One of our great sins is we're so late to cover stuff, but
that's true.
This was too funny not to catch up on, which was Paul Bet Davidson proposing a way to bring peace to the Middle East? ? Yeah. And I think we gotta listen to it. There's 2 videos. I don't know which one's better. It's probably better to listen to the one where he's not by himself, right? Where he's like talking to his co-hosts, right?
To Vinny and the most hated Adam, the worst man in the universe, Adam.
Yeah. It's kind of visual because anyway, we'll talk about it as we watch here. We don't even need to set this up any more than I already have. Let's just listen to it. Paul Bet Davidson, Patrick Bet. Well, I can't remember his real name.
Why would you bet on Goliath when you got Bet David?
Is it David? Bet that. David?
Yeah.
I just am so used to that Paul Bet Davidson drop.
Davidson?
I can't shake it.
It's Patrick Bet David.
Yes, that's right.
Like I said, the easiest way to remember it is just that. Why would you bet on Goliath when you got Bet David?
Would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David?
Right, the intro music. Oh, that music's so funny.
It's incredible.
Maybe I'll use that as the outro music this week. Okay, here he is talking about, guys, the solution to all this Israel-Palestine stuff, it's so simple. Why hasn't anyone thought of this? We just need the businessman's brain to crack the code, and here it is.
This idea I'm going to put out there.
Who cares?
And please, if you support it, cut it, clip it, put it on X, and let's see what people say about it. I believe the way to save Israel, for them to be humble, is Israel needs a roast like the Tom Brady roast. Put Netanyahu in the middle, bring Kevin Hart, Andrew Schultz, Dave Smith, Bill Toney, bring Shane Gillis, bring all of these comedians and let them do a 3-hour roast on Israel. Let them make so much fun of them, so much of it, and if you can take it, then the world is finally going to be like, all right, let's move on. We got it out of our system. Yeah. But they won't let it happen. This is good.
They won't let it happen.
They won't. They're too scared. They're too scared to let that happen. To let this idea that he just came up with, they were too scared of it to let it happen. It's so that's another like good like fucked up grammar thing that comes with being like, you know, a probably an ESL, an ESL PBD type. The like, let them make so much fun of it. It's like, that's not how you say that. Like, why are you? Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing from top to bottom, on top of just like how stupid of a concept it is.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? You know what I mean?
Like, I don't even know what to say, actually.
The Netflix roast of Israel. You know what I mean? Like, you just got BB sitting up there on the dais. I think the best part about it would be that they could they could probably get Trump to do it. Like Trump would be, he would come up and do the roast. You know what I mean? It'd be, man.
You know what?
God damn it.
We should let PBD further flesh out his idea, because I believe this was a follow-up video to when he had this like, epiphany in the studio. But then he released a video of just himself, like, with his like with his phone, talking about it, and he adds a little more detail to it, and he more hones in on like it should be specifically at BB. Like in the beginning, he's just like the roast of Israel as a concept. But
I think that's funnier. Unfortunately,
it's
I
way
think that
funnier,
someone got I think someone got in his ear and was like, Pat, that shit makes no sense. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, also,
it would, I guess, make more sense.
It's more anti-Semitic, of course.
Right, of course.
If you focus just on the right-wing element of BB, that's okay. That's the liberal way to support Zionism.
Yeah, exactly.
But here he is. He's like, guys, I heard all your feedback about my awesome idea. Let me clarify a few things.
Crazy idea for Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel as well as the world. If you like it, tag the world, share with everybody. If not, just move on.
I think the world
needs a comedic roast of Benjamin Netanyahu, sitting right in the middle with the greatest comedians in the world, from America, from the Middle East, from Egypt, from everywhere, just making fun of Benjamin Netanyahu for 2 hours, just like they did with Trump many, many years ago, just like they did with Tom Brady. And Tom doesn't like stuff like this. Neither does Trump, but they took it. And what happened? All the people that hated Brady, they moved on. All the people that hated Trump were like, let me go to the next person now. I think the temperatures are very high. What's going on there and what's happened there, it's terrible. It's not slowing down. People are going back and forth. Why not create a setting for people to say everything they want to get it off their chest? So nobody sits there and says, well, I feel like there's nothing I can say about Israel because if I do, I'm going to get canceled. Here's your opportunity to come and say whatever you want to say. Number two, here's Israel's opportunity to say, listen, we don't walk on water. We also have issues. Make fun of us. Let's move on. Trust me, there's a lot of people that are going to hate this idea, absolutely hate this idea.
That part is right.
The world needs a comedic roast of Benjamin Netanyahu. And quite frankly, I also think Israel and Bibi need this as well. What do you think? If you like it, retweet. Bibi, question for you. Are you up for this idea?
I think I like the second video even more.
Yeah, because he was really feeling himself.
You can't see the the hilarious reaction shots of Vinny and the gang or whatever, but still the way he's just feeling himself, like you said. Like the analogy of like, they made fun of Trump and then people were like, yeah, whatever. What do you mean? Dude. Then he became president and is doing all this evil shit. They made fun of Tom Brady and we're like, Tom Brady's okay now. Like what?
Well, I love Tom Brady hates that stuff. Like, what the fuck are you? What is this diatribe? Well, that has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about right now. Who cares that Tom Brady doesn't like stuff like that? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What?
Yeah. I mean, the way
Tom Brady hates this stuff. Tom Brady did it, and Tom Brady hates this stuff. What the fuck are you talking? That's the best kind of stuff where you're just on a weird rant and you just completely lose context of what the fuck you're talking about in the middle of it.
He loses the context, but he doesn't lose the passion. He keeps it up, and the salesmanship. Just never
spiritually.
wavers.
Yeah, spiritually it's correct. Spiritually he's on message, even if literally he's saying shit that has nothing to do with what he's talking about.
The vague way that he described what the conflict is there at the end was that's what was making me lose it kind of at the end. He's like, they're going back and forth and it's not good and
Yeah. It's not, they're genociding babies. That's terrible, but also, might as well get some yucks.
Though he wasn't even referencing Israel or Palestine. He's just like, they're doing stuff and they don't walk on water. What the weird walk on water reference about Jews is kind of funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh boy, PBD. You really delivered on that one. I think this is the first time we like truly.
I think he snapped.
Truly got into a PBD clip. No, we talked about when Musk Zeke Heiled. I think we talked about the PBD crew then, but anyway.
I think he absolutely snapped though. I think he served and he ate, and I think he might have even boots the house down with that one. So we've got to say, PBD, you are officially invited to the cookout. Yeah, that was some good shit. That was some very good shit. Now, could you imagine, how he's got that fucked up painting with like Martin Luther King and Tupac and everything hanging out and talking to him? It's got like Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Tupac,
the best thing
and
ever.
PBD.
His vault.
And PBD. Like, he needs to commission like the same kind of painting, but it's the roast of Bibi Netanyahu / Israel. That needs to be on the docket. Yeah.
All my friends are there. Andy Schultz, Kill Tony.
What's that? What's up, man? Yeah, Kill Tony. Kill Tony just in the corner acting like an absolute little freak.
Oh, God. I think out of all those guys of late, Andrew Schultz is the one that I would like to see get the Kirk treatment the most at present. Dude, he's pissing me off the most out of all of them.
I can't believe. I mean, I know that it just kind of comes with doing stand-up comedy because, like, over the years of just like being like, just getting fucking heckled, bombing, all that shit. It makes you like just have a thick skin. But I cannot believe that Andrew Schultz like shows his face anymore after that tweet that just absolutely eviscerated him. That was like, Andrew Schultz looks like both the Jew that got killed in Auschwitz and the Nazi prison guard who killed him. Like, that shit is like, that was just like, that's it, bro. That is it. You are done for. Yeah, someone tweeted that, and that is like, game over. You have been fully murked. Yeah, he looks like both the Jew that was killed in Auschwitz and the guard that killed him. And it's just like, yes, he does. Actually, nailed it.
He did get rid of his like explicitly Nazi haircut, probably because of that, and maybe in reaction to when Iluma did the salute.
Yeah.
But yeah. But actually, talking about Andrew Schultz is weirdly a kind of segue into the next segment here. Entitled Venezuela, the War on Drugs, because I think I even referenced this another episode, but I saw Andrew Schultz in some clip just like defending the insane murdering of fishermen and whatnot in the Caribbean by being like, they're coming for my people with fentanyl. We gotta put them down. We gotta put them down, bro. Whatever, bullshit thing he said. So yeah, there was I guess there's some, you could call it development and all that. I mean, we did give our overall opinions about how this is a bad thing last week, but what's kind of changed this week is the term double tap has entered the news, capital N news cycle lately because, there's just video footage that's now been released of them blowing up another small vessel, claiming without any evidence that they were shipping drugs. There was like 11 people on this small boat. 2 people didn't die instantly and were like trying to stay alive, screaming for help, which in official reporting, military reporting, that was
this is a good one,
given as the reason they were a imminent danger and needed to be double tapped and taken out.
They were trying to signal for reinforcements.
But screaming for help when you're trying not to drown is narco terrorist code for bring in reinforcements. Yeah. It's obviously pretty insane and very fucked up. And of course, like these fucking at their core cowards like Trump and Hegseth instantly are trying to distance themselves from this very thing they were just like hyping up and like putting out fucking clip compilations of with fucking new metal soundtracks over or whatever the fuck. Yeah, so they're like blaming it on some like the admiral or whatever. Like, oh, we had nothing to do with this, nothing to do with the double tap. It's like, oh, but you're taking responsibility for all the other equally obviously illegal acts in international waters, and like on the news, like people that are trying to be critical, which is driving me crazy. They're just honing in on this one incident as like this is the only one that's a problem. It's a war crime to like do the double tap strike, and it's like, and then the very first thing I thought of when I saw all this discourse or whatever is like Israel, the IDF, like they do this on a daily basis practically. They lure people out. They bomb a site. The ambulances arrive, then they bomb the ambulances. This is just like textbook IDF stuff. But that roast is going to fix all that shit. So nothing to worry about really. It's in the rear view.
I think I referenced that when we talked about it last time, about like the idea that like Israel is the testing ground for what we can get away with in polite society. So of course this is like the same shit that they're doing. It's just the timeline is just moving faster than I guess we're used to, but that's just like classic accelerationism or whatever. Like, that's how it goes. And it's also part of like, that's the thing about the Trump thing, oh, he says the quiet part out loud. Like people love to like point to that. And it's just kind of like, if that's not just Trump, you know what I mean? Like this is another case of like people point to Trump as being like a unique figure when really all he is just like the embodiment of the current age. Because like, how is that not like just what's been going on for decades in American media when you even think about it? You know what I mean? Like you can look at it and say like, ever since they like got rid of the Hays Code, you know what I mean? We've just been more like explicitly saying things, saying the quiet part out loud, right? In media, it's just as it like continues on, it's just the new person to do it. This time it happens to be Trump.
I was just gonna say like, yeah, this type of war crime. I don't even want to call it a war crime either because it's just murder.
No, this is not murder. This is a classic June Oliver crime. Find that drop. No, because here's the other thing about it is it's part of the issue is this is not officially declared war. There's no war for them to be committing a war crime within. This is just a crime.
Even if there was war declared on Venezuela, the nation, this would still not count as like...
Yeah, they're not state actors.
Yes, exactly. But I was just thinking like the way in polite society stuff like this has always gotten like just been tolerated. And I like you're right about like the testing ground of Israel. Like, and I think that's like these days it's more specifically for like how it's kind of well known that like a lot of police departments are trained like directly with IDF soldiers and stuff. I think it's less like influencing U.S. military tactics because they've just always been doing this shit, like you said, also. But like, yeah, the polite society thing is just like you have to just put the new label on the murder victim. At one point, well, they were communists. Oh, well, they were terrorists. They're drug dealers. It's whatever. And it's just so, it's giving me that time warp feeling again of like, we're talking about the war on drugs again. Like, and I mean, I know that it never really kind of stopped, but like, it's just coming back in like in the culture in a way that's like, just makes my head spin a little bit. It's like, are we going to bring back like the DARE program? Or did it ever go away? I'm not sure. I think I read the Wikipedia article on DARE the other day. I don't remember.
This is another hit that drop. We're still talking about Epstein?
Right. I don't know. It's just some other stupid shit about Pete Hegseth, I guess. He referenced the fog of war as like the literal smoke that like we couldn't even see those two guys because of the fog of war. Like thanks to
you know what's great about this? The fog of war for Pete Hegseth was in his living room when all of this was going on. So I liked that. It's like, what was the fog of war there, sir? Was that like the 5th of Jack Daniels that you had just drank?
little hazy there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there
Speaking
was
of
this
Hays Code, right?
right. And then I don't know. This was just however you want to read into this, I guess. When he was doing his little press briefing thing with Trump, where they're both just like passing the blame to the admiral. His title, Secretary of War, was misspelled with two capital S's. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
like,
too on the nose, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and what's funny is I found an article. I don't think I have it pulled up anymore, but like I can just summarize what it was. But like about it, and it was like, here's all the social media responses to it, and like all the people were saying were like, look how lazy this administration is, or like, I mean, one that I thought actually had some validity was like, oh, his staff hates him, so they're just purposely doing this to embarrass him. That I could see, but like,
right.
but nobody in this article was like pointing out what to be seems obvious, which is like it's a reference to fucking Nazism.
Right.
Anyway, who knows? And Trump, being the hilarious guy he is, this week, you know, while all this shit is happening in the name of eliminating all the dangerous drugs from our great nation, pardoned a prolific drug trafficker.
Oh, this was good. Yeah.
As the New York Times headline reads, in announcing pardon of drug trafficker while threatening Venezuela, Trump displays contradictions. I like the end there. It's just like, really, New York Times? Some say this could be contradictory.
Yeah. Speaking of Trump pardons, did you have that clip of oh God, what is that bitch's name?
Oh, Caroline. I do have it's I don't have it lined up here. It's on the Discord though somewhere. And answering the question about the other business guy that got pardoned after like 12 days of being in jail. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I actually found it. It's
okay.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, speaking of pardons.
Presidential pardon power. Why did the president commute the sentence of David Gentile recently? He was a private equity executive. He served 12 days out of a 7-year sentence. Prosecutors said he defrauded $1.6 billion with thousands of victims, including veterans, farmers, teachers. Why was he pardoned?
With respect to that pardon, he issued a commutation for Mr. Gentile, who's the former CEO and co-founder of GBP Capital Holdings. Unlike similar companies, GBP paid regular annualized distributions to its investors. In 2015, GBP disclosed to investors the possibility of using investor capital to pay some of these distributions rather than funding them from current operations. Even though this was disclosed to investors, the Biden Department of Justice claimed it was a Ponzi scheme. This claim was profoundly undercut by the fact that GBP had explicitly told investors what would happen. At trial, the government was unable to tie any supposedly fraudulent representations to Mr. Gentile. In short, again, this is another example that has been brought to the president's attention of a weaponization of justice from the previous administration, and therefore he signed this commutation.
So say that these people were defrauded.
I just read you a very detailed summary of why the commutation was made.
That was so good to me because she like absolutely did not answer for the commutation. What she did was say like, basically, if I come at you with a knife and say I'm going to stab you and then I stab you, it's fine because I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah,
like that's her argument there.
She just described the crime.
Yeah,
basically.
He did a Ponzi scheme, but he told them that he was going to do a Ponzi scheme, and they said they were all right with it. So it's not illegal. That was like her argument. And like
literally,
yes. The person who did the follow-up, like she kind of tried, but she should have pushed back more. Like admitting to something isn't like saying that you're going to do something then doesn't make it legal. Like that is very libertarian logic, right? The idea that like, well, if he disclosed that he was doing a Ponzi scheme and they chose to stay involved in the Ponzi scheme, then that's their decision. It's like, no, man, like we have laws that say that that's illegal because it's bad and we shouldn't allow people to do it. It's not like they're allowed to do it because they admit it to begin with. Like I said, I think stabbing someone is probably the best like example of that. Like if you tell someone you're going to stab them, it's not then legal to stab them.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, taking a shot at the president, for example. If you announce it beforehand on social media, you know, fair play to you. Good on that journalist, I guess, for attempting to make her answer something, but you know, of course, she's just reading the prepared thing. And what the other thing I got out of that clip was like, I've heard her repeat this line so many times that she does right towards the end of like, basically like, there's activist judges are the problem when it's not in our favor, you know, is the unspoken part of it. But they like think just saying activist judge is like the answer to any of these questions of the 2,000 questionable pardons that Trump has done so far this year.
That feels like that's the one thing that's really stuck. Like I think we have to give all credit where it's due to Kim Kardashian, because her explaining the flaws of the carceral system to Donald Trump seems to be the one thing he's stuck with.
Oh man, I don't know
he
if
wants to get everybody out of jail slowly, you know.
I don't know. I just remembered a thing that I didn't put on the notes that was really funny. I don't know if I can find the clip. It doesn't matter. I'll just say what it was. Cash, did you see that Kash Patel doing a press conference, and he's like,
yes,
talking about the pipe bomb guy, and he's like,
oh yeah,
no one can attack our Capitol and get away with it. It's like you just put the headline next to that of like every January 6th rioter / murderer / pedophile was pardoned by Trump immediately on day one of his presidency.
That's
so funny.
That guy, the pedophile Jan 6er is like the best, has to be the best guy. The guy who like got arrested for Jan 6th, and that's how they found all of his child porn. I'm sorry. Like, I know, you know, that's very bad, you know, that child porn exists and all this, but, oh, man, just, the concept of that is so good. That is like, that feels like that is the quintessential moment where you need the Curb Your Enthusiasm music to start playing. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Oh, man.
I think there was more than one pedophile Jan 6er, possibly, because I think what happened to at least one of them was that they had been convicted beforehand, and then they got pardoned, and like very quickly after they got pardoned, they went straight back to jail for more pedophilia. And Trump's just like, I stand by every pardon. Like, what?
I think we just need to do a roast of the Jan 6 pedophiles. We just need to be allowed to make so much fun of them, and then people can move on.
We need to do a post-mortem roast of Jeffrey Epstein, and we can make all the files go away and finally get all this shit off Trump's back. Roast the pain away. Yeah, there was. I mean, this Megyn Kelly clip is pretty insane. I wish we should listen to this too.
Oh, it's my girl M. Kelly. I love Megyn Kelly, man.
It's your girl M. Kelly. This is her take on the let's call it extrajudicial unalivings of fishermen.
I'm sure she's going to have a reasonable take on this.
Yeah, probably pretty sympathetic and like even-handed and all that. Yeah, so here we go.
Kind of not only want to see them killed in the water, whether they're on the boat or in the water, but I'd really like to see them suffer. I would like Trump and Hegseth to make it last a long time so that they lose a limb and bleed out a little. Like, I'm really having a difficult time ginning up sympathy for these guys who 10 seconds earlier almost got taken out by the initial bomb, but because they managed to get ejected, you know, a little too soon, had to be taken out in the water.
Hilarious.
I realize legally it may make a difference, but truly, Mark, this is a tough case to really gin up the sympathies of the Americans.
What the fuck?
I don't know about this commentary, so I'll stop it there.
No thanks. No, thank you.
I mean, just leaving it at what the fuck is enough anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you say about that? This is the state of the nation, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. The open thirsting for blood. Tom Cotton kind of got owned on some cable news, whatever, about this whole thing. And the interviewer, the newsman, brought up an interesting comparison and was like, I think Tom Cotton's from Arkansas. I think that's why the guy brought up Arkansas. He's like, well, if someone like had drugs on a lake in Arkansas, could we just blow them up too? And Tom Cotton was just like, oh, fuck, and didn't know what to do. And it was just like, that's different. You can't compare these things. It's like, yeah, you can. It's literally the same thing.
The best one I heard was like, okay, so does this mean that we can just fucking, fire cruise missiles at the Sacklers' houses?
Yeah, that's,
if you want to talk about the people who are killing people with drugs.
Yeah. I mean, that I could get behind.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
They could call it a double sack tap.
Yes.
Right?
The fucking Sacklers makes my head hurt. Listen to previous episode, whatever number it is, on it was 3 episodes we did on a very good book on the Sackler family and how evil they are, called Empire of Pain. I think the episodes were just titled, the book title, Empire of Pain. Yeah. So give those a listen if you haven't before. I think that was a good book. We talked about it all right.
It's tough for me to be too upset about the whole thing because I did get a pretty solid bonus from the Sackler payout, unfortunately, due to my job. But, whatever. It could have been more, It probably should have been more.
Pharmacists nationwide rejoice as Sackler's payout comes through.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that really did happen. It is kind of funny to think about, but like... Everyone that works for my work got a bonus check, got more in our bonus check one year because specifically we were told because of the payout from the settlement from the Sackler case. Like, that's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah. I totally thought you were kidding.
No. Because our company made more money that year, was more profitable that year because of getting paid out from the verdict on the case. We got a bigger bonus. So, yeah, obviously I'm kidding when I say that sways my opinion on the Sackler family, but it is a very funny thing to think about that happened,
I guess I didn't even, shows how closely I read the book, except actually I think that stuff happened like post the book anyway.
No, I mean, you guys talked about it on the podcast, actually.
I just don't...
That is one thing that comes from, like, listening to old episodes that I've been doing recently. I listened to you guys talk about stuff, and you talked about them having to pay out from the... So, at one point, you and Jason did know about the fact that, like, they lost... And you even mentioned, like, it wasn't enough, which is true. They should have paid more, obviously, and they probably should have, like, faced even worse punishments than just paying money, obviously. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I guess I knew they had to pay a bunch of money, but I assumed it was like probably like, I don't know, to the fucking government or some bullshit. I didn't realize like where the money was actually going. So,
I mean, that's just part of it. Probably stuff. Some went to restitution, some went to the government, and some went to healthcare companies that basically had to deal with the shit that they caused, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
theoretically, and it's like imagine that with like. Other thing, because you don't really hear about like people getting paid for like Exxon Mobil, like an Exxon spill, right? When they get hit with that, like, shouldn't like part of that money go to every person, right? Like, if you think about it, because everyone's affected by that, but it doesn't work that way anyway.
At the very least, like the locality that's like really super affected,
right,
yeah. That whole fucking Chevron nightmare. Venezuela, a little bit more on this. I mean, the other thing I'll just add as a general overall feeling about the whole thing that puts me on edge personally is that a lot of this feels very similar to like ramping up to go to war in like Iraq for example, just like manufacturing all this bullshit. Like they're like even leaving aside the war on drugs thing, and like Marco Rubio is just pulling stuff out of his ass about like, well, actually, Venezuela is like the nexus of where Iran and North Korea, and he didn't say North Korea, but he's just like, all these other bad guys are basically Venezuela too, so got to drop the bomb. And this fucking freak, Maria Corina Machado, who's like the face, the eerie, Joker-fied face of the astroturfed opposition in Venezuela, and has been since like at least George W. Bush era. She's just like ecstatic about all this murder happening and the possibility of regime change because she would benefit greatly from it monetarily. And yeah, of course, like the Democrats suck on all this shit as well, even though like there's like limp little statements about like, oh, could be a war crime, the double tap, but only that one. No problems with the other shit. and then don't do anything. It's just like, Hakeem Jeffries makes a limp dick little statement, including where he said, we won't even try to impeach Pete Hegseth because it won't work. The Republicans are owning our asses too hard. So why even make the gesture?
Right.
And then I saw some clip of one of the Pod Johns. I honestly don't know which ones are which, but it was one of them. Basically doing what so many liberals do in these situations, and like, this is a uniquely Trumpian thing that's going on right now. And just that whole thing drives me fucking insane because Obama was the double tap drone president, as we all know. And this guy literally wrote speeches for Obama and fucking loves him to death.
Right.
To this day, will defend him.
He's still trying
for
to
eternity.
get Senpai to notice him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe finally close out this section with just some hilarious quote.
I
Go ahead.
Check this. Wait. No, continue what you're saying. Sorry.
Just Trump, saying stuff. So Trump in 2024, we buy oil from Venezuela. When I left office, Venezuela was on the verge of collapse. We're going to take it over completely, and we're going to take all that oil. These are exact quotes from speeches he's given. And then more recently, he just said, I want Venezuela's oil for free. And then this was in the context of someone on Twitter, I don't know who, then saying like, and then like a lot of mega nations' reaction to these like very clear statements of intent are like, no, Trump just wants to stop drugs or take down the nasty dictator man, who, by the way, this is a pro Maduro podcast, at least on my part.
Sure, I'll sign off on that.
He rocks. He fucking rocks. Not saying he's perfect, but
no.
On the whole, he's fucking awesome. And yeah, anyway,
I wanted to check to verify, and I think that I somewhat did. I'm not 100% sure here, but you're talking about the pod, the Pod Johns and how much they love Obama. I think that Obama was on WTF twice.
That's true.
And was never on their podcast once, except for like a live event. He was never on their podcast legit, but he was on for like they did a live event and he showed up, which is that's just perfect, man. That's just, yeah, that's so good. He would never do an episode of their fucking podcast.
Yeah, because he didn't provide snacks like Mark Maron did.
Gotta have them ribs. And pussy too.
Oh no. That's
anyway.
Right. So Mark Maron. I mean, yeah, because he's got the cats. Because Mark Maron's got, he's a known catsman.
Right.
So that's
ribs
what he's talking
pussy.
about.
Yep.
Yeah. Ribs and, yeah. Oh, although I'm trying to think like where Mark Maron lives, if there's any good barbecue places there, and there's really not. But yeah, whatever.
He lives in LA, right?
Yeah, but he lives specifically in Highland Park, which is not particularly. There's good food there, but there's not barbecue.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Also, it's just like I could see Obama just being like, "Well, the pod guys don't got Marin numbers. Like, I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to go on the biggest podcast there is."
Right.
It'd be so funny if he went on Rogan.
But he also was probably part of telling Kamala not to go on Rogan, right?
Oh,
that
yeah.
too, which is very funny. You can't.
What did she do?
Sorry, Kamala, you can't be going on there with Joe. You can't riff with the god like him. You don't got the chops for it. You need to go on with the her takes, girls. No, yeah, exactly.
She went on that. What was it? The fucking We Fuck Guys podcast? What is it called?
That's it. That's what it's called. They get that guy, the guy from the TikTok videos. Hey, homies, it's Tony. And he comes on and he goes, "We fuck guys. Hey, homies, we fuck guys." Yeah, that was the podcast she went on.
Her daddy, we fuck her daddy. That's what it was called.
Fuck her daddy. Yeah.
I fuck my daddy is the name of the podcast.
I fucked my dad.
Here's the crown jewel.
The Johnsons.
Wait, what?
That short film, The Johnsons or whatever, about the guy fucking his dad.
Oh my god, the Ari Aster student film is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. That's an amazing movie.
Yeah, she went on that podcast. The podcast is about that.
She went on the Strange Thing About the Johnsons podcast, which is hosted by Ari Aster and the three actors from that short film. And they talk about incest in a very serious manner.
And she went on there and she said, "I'm Jamaican, so we be getting high and fucking, man."
She went on and she was like, "I fuck Tupac." The crown jewel of today, I think, though, is what's up next. This was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning, which is going to be everywhere probably already by now, but I don't care. It's fair game. This is recent news. This is current events. Trump got an award from one of the most corrupt, bodies on the planet, which is FIFA. They were doing their ceremony to whatever. I don't know what the fuck they do. They choose who's gonna host whatever foosball events, but the real thing was they so clearly just invented a peace prize, a FIFA prize of peace to give to Donald Trump, who was miraculously the only nominee. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. How excited he was to be given this incredibly gaudy looking trophy, and then also like a medal that he could wear around his neck, which he immediately put on, he couldn't wait, like an excited little kid. And then, then they did all the rest of the whatever they do at these events. But then they closed the whole thing out with, as if this was like a birthday party for a little kid who is Trump, and had the village people perform YMCA to close out the night. And he did the double jerk off dance, and he was looking more lively than he has in a long time, I would say, up there in the balcony.
It's so good. I mean, what would you expect less from a man who scored a perfect on his MRI? He got an A+ MRI, and he did the cognitive test so good that the people who took the test said that they haven't seen anybody score better on what's a giraffe or whatever the fuck he was doing.
Right, that cognitive test that he brings up 45 times a week, probably. And I realized because I posted that in the Discord. I hadn't actually ever looked at it before, I don't think. I realized because I think on Chapo did the test on, but that was years ago, on an episode from years ago. So he's still bragging about this one test he did at least 5 years ago.
I think I think the thing is because he's how old he is, he's doing it regularly. I think he's done it again recently, but also maybe not.
I don't want to shock anybody here, but I think he's also known to be a liar sometimes, and so
that's true.
And he's also senile, so he maybe legitimately just misremembers that he didn't take another one like again.
True.
And he's just referencing the one over and over. But yeah, this FIFA shit was just incredible.
That's pretty good.
It kind of speaks for itself in a way, I guess.
Sure.
And yeah, there is just something especially funny about it being FIFA. Like I said, like known, like proven, long, deep history of like intense corruption and crimes. I mean, it's basically the mafia. Like the mafia gave Donald Trump a peace award at their soccer ceremony.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think he believes that he got the Nobel Peace Award? That's what actually happened. Like, does he believe that that's what they gave him?
I feel like he's good enough at lying to himself that he at least momentarily, he felt like he was getting the Nobel Peace Prize at the very least. And it did make me think of like what they say that they did with his father when his father was like 90 and still trying to work, but was like completely senile out of his mind, where they would like just give him like a bunch of like fake paperwork so he could pretend like he's still being like a pillaging, plundering businessman. This is kind of the equivalent of that for Trump, I think. And it's like
right.
people have, you know, come up with the idea of like, I mean, people said this about Biden too, like just put him in the fake White House and he won't know any better. And yeah, this is basically on that level because it's very obvious that this was all concocted because he's tried so hard to get the Nobel Peace Prize for so long and failed to do so. Some people are saying things like participation trophy, but I think it's funnier to just be, it's like, no, it's like a delusional act, like purposely delusional to feel like he's fulfilled his goals here. But anyway, also on top of everything, he just likes spectacle and awards and gaudy fucking shit. So, I mean, this thing had it all.
Right.
Oh, also, the president of FIFA's name is funny to me. Gianni Infantino. That's not helping.
It's Johnny the baby.
It's not helping beat the Epstein style allegations to be palling around with a guy named Infantino.
Johnny the baby.
Johnny the baby. What else happens? Time warp shit, as I've labeled it here. As we've and this always, I think the last time I said time warp shit, like time warp shit was going on, it was also with Tucker Carlson, but I think that time was about how he was saying evolution is fake still in the year of our Lord 2025.
I still continue to say that like Tucker Carlson is would be a great name for a drag queen.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah, but that recent video clip going around makes me think maybe he's aware. In fact, maybe he is.
Which clip though? There's two instances of him focusing on the gays. So the first one was with
focusing on us. It seems to be focusing on the the Alphabet Mafia, which he is a member of with us. Yeah, exactly.
He interviewed our pal Pierced Organ, as we call him.
That's true.
Friendly term of endearment.
If you want to know why we call him that, you can find it. The previous episode where I explain it. Dig through the back catalogs. It's in there. It's of course, like you said, it's very endearing and it's friendly.
And it in no way conjures up images of violent
sexual
fucking.
Violence. Yeah. Crude sexual violence. No.
I called him Pierced Organ. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So he interviewed Pierced Organ, and basically they were just arguing about, like, are people born gay? And this is what's making me feel the time warp shit. Like, really? Were anyone still talking about this on the television or the internet, whatever? Like, it just boggles my mind, the conversation they were having. And Pierce the Organ was like technically on like the right side of the issue. He's just like, yeah, it's like natural. People are just born with their sexuality, you know, genetics, whatever. And then the other thing to this, which I might not have even noticed, but Kyle Kalinske, I saw commenting on this. I mean, Tucker did seem to be like sort of tweaking out even more than he normally does, like his insane laugh and like rocking back and forth in his chair. And apparently some of his staff says he's like takes some immense amount of like nicotine pouches every day. So like Kalinske was speculating that like he was basically having like a near like panic attack from like overdosing on nicotine, which is like the lamest way to get high. By the way, but so he was acting like a freak. I don't even want to bother to find the video, honestly. But maybe I'll insert some funny bits of him laughing like an idiot. You know what Tucker fucking does, what he sounds like, his
you know his thing,
weird freakish behavior. But like that whole argument about like, and because then he thought, oh, you're gonna go with the gay gene, Pierce? Ha ha! Ipso facto, QED. There's no scientific proof to really back up that there's a gay gene, which is, I didn't even look into like the state of this right now. I think technically you could say that's true. Like there is no like conclusive evidence of like having isolated the gay gene. But
we have very few genes isolated for anything. Like we barely can like, yeah, anyways, continue on.
The real point though is it doesn't fucking matter. And what Pierce Organ should have fucking said is it doesn't matter.
Right.
If it's even if, okay, I'll admit it, fucking Tucker Carlson. Everything people do sexually is a choice 100%. So what? What's your argument for gayness being bad? And what he was going for, he wasn't citing the Bible somehow, which you would maybe expect. He was doing the whole stupid fucking like, well, more and more people are gay now than before. And if this keeps up, we're going to run out of people. There's going to be no reproduction left, which is all like is obviously stupid on so many levels. But even if you granted him that premise, you could be like, well, gay people can still create children through this miracle of science we have. Different ways of getting sperm and ovum together.
They're also historically, before they even involved science, there were queer people that would intentionally impregnate a opposite sex person to have a child. Like, it's not impossible, right?
Yeah.
It's not like having a gluten allergy where you just can't eat any bread. Like, you know, you can be a gay guy and you can fuck a puss at least once. You know what I mean? Like, it's not impossible, you know? Although,
I mean, it is.
You don't want to drop, if you're a platinum star homosexual, obviously you don't want to break that. But, you know, if it's just a regular gold star or worse, right? But either way, yeah.
There's a Kinsey scale, indeed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it is also, again, it plays into the you know, the other clip, the faggot clip, which I really love, because it plays into the Tucker thing, because Tucker implying that like if people were allowed to be gay, if it was okay to be gay, then no one would be straight ever again, and we wouldn't have kids. That is kind of telling on yourself there, Tuckman. You're basically saying, if it wasn't against the rules, why would anyone ever have sex with women? Is what it sounds like you're trying to say.
Anti-gay religious freaks say that all the fucking time.
They love it. They love to say it. They really do.
And then they throw in sometimes too, like the Westboro type people, whatever. They'll throw in, well, then we can just be gay and murder each other if there's no God. It's
like, dude, this is 100% you, brother. This is all on you. The rest of us are not trying to do that.
Like if there wasn't a God, you're just saying if there was no God, I would 100% be doing some gay shit.
Yeah, I would be gay and do crimes. That would be all I would be doing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm bisexual. I'm like totally into everything. Like, I'm completely fine. I'm not out here being like, God is stopping me from doing this. But if it wasn't for that, man, I would never have sex with a woman. I would never even look at another vagina if it wasn't for God.
And then there was like, it's like, just to like, I don't know, follow up that stupid interview and like show that he's like weirdly focused in on gay stuff this week, I guess.
Right.
He interviewed Milo Yiannopoulos and that was fucking gross. Just like the 5 seconds I saw of it. Like, I mean, Milo is just a fucking tired of saying the word grifter, but
sure.
I don't know. Actually, I wonder sometimes nowadays, like, since he fell off, whatever, since he lost the blonde hair, we'll say that the new and claims to have made himself straight.
Oh yeah.
That era of him, he just seems like he's actually like kind of fucked up. Like,
right.
It's not all just a grift, but it's definitely part of it still. But basically, they were just talking about like why homosexuality isn't even real, actually, I think was their angle. He was comparing it to like drug addiction. And then he literally said, he used the word the semen demon to say like he, Tucker was like, well, are you like gay sometimes still or something like that? And he's like, well, I very rarely see the semen demon these days. But then they like very seriously posited they couldn't just stick with the addiction model and just it just like seamlessly morphed into no, actually there's literal demons that exist and it's demonic possession is what makes people gay. And that was basically all I saw of the whole thing. But did you watch any of that shit?
I actually did not see that one.
Oh, okay. It was so funny that it was just back to back with the pierced organ.
Back to back. Because again, there's like another one. It's not pierced organ, but I do want to give a shout out to Discord friend / listener of the podcast. I feel dumb because like I'm in another Discord with this person, but I don't know their actual name. It's just like Comrade Notice Me or whatever. Like
good name.
When I referenced Pariah the doll, that like they kind of linked to something, and then I looked at some more stuff, and like. Yeah, like, I guess they are still claiming to be, or I don't even know because it feels like such a bit. Even that video felt like a fucking bit that was like not real, but like claiming to still be detrans in this like YouTube clip that they posted after I had mentioned that on the podcast last week. It was like around the same time too, which is kind of funny because, it was like a relatively recent mention or whatever. But yeah, so I guess Pariah the doll, which is also funny because it's like, motherfucker, your Twitter name still says that you're a doll in it and you're trying to say that you're not trans anymore. But whatever, claiming that they're not trans still. They're still detrans or whatever, which is whatever. That whole thing is very odd.
So they didn't go back on it like you were okay.
Well, they're just claiming like they're not, but it feels like they are. I mean, anyways, the whole thing, it feels like it's like, how do you even like how much of it is like a bit or / not a bit or whatever at this point? It's pretty hard to like, even understand. But
these are also some pretty like Z tier internet personalities
right,
at this point.
Right,
they make me just more feel sad than pissed off when I like Milo. At least I'm not really familiar with Pariah at all, but
right. But
yeah,
did you see the Tucker faggot video, the one that I'm talking about?
Well, that's the Pierce Morgan. Is when he started.
Oh yeah.
It was the same interview.
Right. Yeah.
I saw
that's
it.
A good one.
That's when he was really tweaking out. He was just like, "Faggot, faggot! I said it."
Yeah,
I
but
can say
just
it.
being like, I can say it. I say it because you're not allowed to. And then he says the only people who ever say it are gay. After he just said it a bunch, it's like, man, you are just tweaking off that. He's on that good shit, I guess. He's off the premium Zens.
He's on the Zins. Yeah, what a fucking
he's
loser. God.
Off them Zins. Let me see.
I feel like Kyle Kalinske said something like, or like the staff, whatever, said something like 27 milligrams at one time, which is apparently a lot. I don't even know. I've never done nicotine pouches.
Yeah, I don't know how the milligrams work with pouches or whatever.
He said it would be like 6 times like a regular dose or something. That would definitely, like, kind of fuck with your mind and body and soul.
It's always so tough because people, like you build up a tolerance, plus also like you have the constitution that you have. Because people will like freak out about like how much beer you drink or how much weed you smoke or whatever. And it's like, if you kind of like do it, you're like, nah, that's kind of normal. You know what I mean? Like it's not really, you know what I'm talking about? Like people will be like, that's insane. I couldn't drink that much. And you're like, once you like kind of get into it, it's like, it's not really that much.
Sure, I'm acutely familiar with this phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's tough for me to hear when someone says something about like the nicotine thing. Oh, that's a crazy amount. That's 6 times what a normal. But sometimes I'll be like, well, people say that they drink like 1 beer and that's their night, and I'm like, okay, imagine if I said I drink 6 times the normal amount of beers.
Sure.
What I mean? Like, that's insane. That's crazy. I did that before lunch today. Like, okay, cool. Like,
the only reason I probably brought it up is because it sounds like such a lame thing to like brag about or whatever. Yeah. But and Kalinske was like speaking like as a nicotine addict himself, who he said has like worked himself into like a panic by like overdoing it on the vape or whatever.
As good a time as any for me to take over and to play for you the. This was Milo on the Kyle Kalinske show.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women.
So yeah, that was...
Direct quote from Milo Yiannopoulos. Moving on beyond, I guess, that time warp shit. Did you see old Donnie Boy taking a nap next to Marco Rubio?
I didn't see, but I heard, and I heard people talking about it. I have not watched.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Because he's talking about like specifically, and he keeps referring directly to Donald Trump and glancing at him with his eyes fully closed.
That's pretty good.
And he's talking specifically about how like all this awesome fucking ramping up to war we're doing is attributed to Donald Trump's like, I don't know, steadfast like alertness or like focus or something while he's just sleeping. I mean, he's not like full on sleeping, I guess, but his eyes are just closed, and he's taking a little cat nap, I guess.
He thinks better with his eyes closed. He can focus on his thoughts if he doesn't see things in front of his face. It's normal. Lots of people do it. Okay.
Yeah. So that was funny, I guess, and
sure.
But then this led into other, I guess, notable, pretty big news of the week, which was Trump just going on an insane racist rant against Somalia. You must have caught that, right?
Yes.
But that was like, so he like woke up from his Marco Rubio nap and just launched into a racist tirade. And then I believe like went back to sleep in the same press conference.
Yeah. Oh man, that rules.
And I mean, was that rant like more racist than he normally is? That's kind of what my only question about it.
Right.
I don't know. It seemed like, I guess he was a little bit more explicit, and he was actually, when I listened to it, there's certain points where he's almost trying to like backpedal slightly, because he goes, well, I could say this about some other countries too, but I won't. And then he just keeps railing about Somalia, what a horrible place it is, what horrible people they are, and how Ilhan Omar, I mean, he also like tweeted about or whatever truthed about this in addition to going like off the dome, live.
Large and in charge, as they say.
And what I liked about all of this wasn't the racist stuff. No, it was the meme reactions by Somali people. Did you see any of those? I saw just like a couple.
Not that I recall.
Oh, okay. Basically, what they were doing was like, and calling them memes. I mean, some were like meme formatted, I guess, but like some of them were like full like production, like videos of like acting like they're colonizing Minnesota. But the whole point is they're saying that because it was promised to them in like their holy text in the Bible. I think they specifically cite the Bible. So they're just they're not only like, you know, taking a swipe at Trump's bullshit, but just really pointing out what the fuck Israel actually is, how absurd the state of Israel existing is. So I enjoyed that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It also is good because it humanizes, like, as stupid as it is, posting dank memes online like humanizes people from other countries. Because like a big thing going around right now, obviously, is like tons and tons of like, you know, deport them all or whatever. Like, I don't know if you saw the thing that's like the Supreme Court is looking at a case for basically like Trump wanting to repeal birthright citizenship.
Right. Yes.
And like the Supreme Court is like humoring this or whatever. And yeah, it's just like incredible that like that's where we're at now, you know? So yeah, so having like people, Somalian people posting dank memes or whatever is like, I don't know. I feel like that does more to like humanize them to American people than like anything else. Like seeing like, oh, they like make jokes and do stuff on the internet like us or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
But while I'm talking about this, I wanted to play this clip. I got the thing. It's like Tim Dillon talking about like one of these like meme videos that's just being like disgusting about deporting people. I'll just play it real quick.
Okay.
But check this out.
When you have this clumsy, kind of somewhat insane, over the top deportations, people are looking at this and going, and this is, what did they use, this Sabrina Carpenter song?
Yeah.
Play this. Let's see.
Have you ever tried this one? Have you ever tried this one? Have you ever tried this one?
It's unserious. It's unserious. It's childish. It's cruel. I think one of the problems with whatever the MAGA movement has evolved into is it's duped their hardcore followers so much that the only thing left now is performative cruelty.
So yeah, it's like a video of them like, harassing, arresting, tackling people with like Sabrina Carpenter songs playing over it or whatever.
I did hear about her being mad about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's right, but it does speak to like the idea of like, Tim Dillon is like the humanizing, he's one of the good ones or whatever. Like, as like a gay man who's willing to be MAGA or, and then like the stuff that happened with the Riyadh Comedy Festival thing with him, it's like, there's just like, he serves such a weird role because then I saw like pushback to him and people being like, yeah, it's good or whatever. And it's like, you're completely missing the point of what he's saying there, which is that like, yeah, like this doesn't, even if you politically agree with what's happening there, being like performatively cruel about it is not the way, because that's just going to cause other people to like counter react and not like it. Normies don't like that shit. This is classic what we call in the industry scaring the hose type behavior. Like normies and regular people don't like that shit and they see it, and what they want is for you to put a good face on it and be like, unfortunately, this is the kind of stuff that just has to happen. to deal with this scourge and this problem. But when you act like you're enjoying it and it's good and fun, then people are going to be like, no, we can't be doing this. This is bad. And obviously it's correct that they can't be doing it. It's bad. But if you at least pretended, that's why he says, like, they're not serious, because if they were serious, they would understand that, but they don't. And that's like why this whole thing is just going to implode on itself, because I'm sorry, but you can't get a majority of people to agree on doing fucked up shit. Like, most people just have a knee-jerk reaction to not liking it,
Yeah, I think, Tim Dillon is like, kind of seems all over the place to me ideologically. I mean, I don't like listen to his I just see like the clips and stuff. But like, he was one of the first guys who was like basically MAGA, right? At some point, like he fully embraced Trump.
Yes and no. That's the problem with Tim Dillon, is I think that there's
because he'll just be like, "Oh, I'm just kidding," yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's like an air of separation that's just kind of like, and, again, like I talked about, him being gay and the character that he kind of plays, like, creates that air of separation where it's like, well, I mean, he can't like agree with it 100% because he's not, whatever. But yeah, like, exactly. But it does seem like, at times he's flirted with the, but I think honestly, he's craven about the money. And he's also like a complete over the top irony bro. Like, I can say and do anything.
Yeah.
And it's as long as it's just meant to be funny. And none of it is meant to be taken seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what I was going to say was, like, out of like all those, like, I don't know, podcasters and quote unquote comedians and whatever that like have kind of buyer's remorse pretty quickly.
Right.
Like, he was one of the first to like really kind of start distancing himself. But then I remember, like, because he was calling out like the Sieg Heil thing as being obviously what it is, like Sieg Heiling, Iluma. Then he also had Steve Bannon on as a guest and did like a softball interview with him and was talking about how, oh, that's not really like a Sieg Heil. He was basically just like sounding like Joe Rogan. So like he's one person with he just changes his tune too easily depending on who his guest is or what podcast he's on. Because when he's on like Cumtown, for example, he's really funny and I like listening to him. But like, or like, whatever. I mean, I was going to say that Stav's like new show he's been on, and on there he's like talking shit about like the Silicon Valley people and whatever. But anyway, whatever. Enough about Tim Dillon. He's just he's a shapeshifter, and he's a demon. Wow. He's a demon, and we know this because Milo's taught us that demons are gay.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, unfortunately, he's not a shapeshifter because he's always one shape, which is
that's true.
Yeah. But yes,
globular.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
I think I will look at this one. Why not?
Yeah, might as well.
Time. I made a little post on the old TrueAnon subreddit, and it was literally just a Donald Trump truth that I thought was funny, and for whatever reason, after I read it, it made me think of John Doe from Seven. Towards the end of that movie, spoilers for the movie Seven.
Yeah.
Where he's in the back of the car and he's talking to Brad Pitt, and he's just like being very pretentious and like self-aggrandizing, and like I think the exact quote is like, "What I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever." And that just like popped into my head when I read this tweet.
Actually, I saw the thing that you posted on the TrueAnon board, and I'm pretty sure it was.
I did also do that.
That was pretty popular. Yeah.
That did decent numbers over there at TrueAnon subreddit.
So yeah. Anyways.
But basically, Trump's stupid ass tweet. It's not one of his epically long ones, so I guess I could read it. And I'm just going to read it in my voice because I'm sick of doing my bad impression. I'm recommending to Senate Republicans that hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent, all caps, be sent directly to the people so that they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over. In other words, take from the big, bad insurance companies, give it to the people, and terminate per dollar spent, the worst healthcare anywhere in the world, Obamacare. Unrelated, we must still terminate the filibuster. End of post. That unrelated thing at the end there really got me.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. It's you know what? It's good that Trump is finally willing to stick it to Obama. And obviously, after that tweet was posted, we went to get, okay, let's hear what does Obama have to say about it, and he said,
"So I'll make that clear to all the Hooters girls that I didn't pee my pants."
And you know what? We agree with him about that. And the most important thing when it comes down to it with insurance is that we can all agree
its true name, Medicare Disadvantage.
And Trump is right for trying to get rid of it.
Yes, we could all agree. I did also like this. I guess it's the top comment here on the post I made. I'll just read it from user Eric with no C. Someone could absolutely sell him on nationalized, quote, Trump care by calling it a deal that saves Americans money and that Obamacare created private health insurance companies. Fuck it. Whisper that it means every American would be giving him money too, and we'd see a crazy executive order the next day. Unfortunately, his handlers don't want that, but it'd be pretty fucking funny to see the U.S. get universal health care in the dumbest way possible. I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
Whole sentence.
And the thing about that is that that's completely true, and it just proves one thing that I always say.
And you know what I always talk about politics, I say that it's politics.
Because if you can trick
Finally,
Trump
we
into
got
that,
it on. I've been letting that one sit there for just too long, way too long.
Wow.
But yeah, so Trump accidentally doing nationalized healthcare, doing some partial social democracy would be funny, and it will never happen, unfortunately.
No, of course not.
I also did comment in the vein of it reminding me of the villain from Seven, that I can't wait to see all of Trump's posts printed as a massive collection in the style of John Doe's meticulously kept notebooks. If you remember that movie, you know what I'm talking about. All those notebooks.
There are 2,000 notebooks on these shelves, and each notebook contains about 250 pages.
Get it? Anything about the killings?
What sick, ridiculous puppets we are, and what a gross little stage we dance on. What fun we have, dancing and fucking, not a care in the world. Not knowing that we are nothing. We are not what was intended. No, wait, there's a lot more. On the subway today, a man came up to me to start a conversation. He made small talk, this lonely man talking about the weather and other things. I tried to be pleasant and accommodating, but my head began to hurt from his banality. I almost didn't notice it had happened, but I suddenly threw up all over. He was not pleased, and I couldn't stop laughing. No dates. Placed on the shelves in no discernible order. Just his mind poured out on paper.
What else happened in the world? There was some other shit about healthcare that I labeled healthcare insanity, but I can't really remember it now, and I didn't link it, so whatever. Dr. Oz said something really fucked up about healthcare. That's all I could remember.
Right.
But moving on, this is also a big recent story, current events.
Yeah. It's important that it's fresh.
A company I'd never heard of until this news broke, called Kalshi. Is it Kalshi or Kalshi? I think it's Kalshi.
I think I've heard that it's Kalshi.
Okay.
That's the way that I've heard people saying it, but a lot of people are saying
You are fake news.
that
True.
it's not a real company. So I don't know.
Well, whatever it's pronounced as, this is some truly, I would say, pretty alarming development in the world. Okay, so this company, they're like what's one of those like sports betting companies that always gets promoted on podcasts? Whatever.
Bet DSI.
Yes, bet they're
not even real anymore.
They're just Bet DSI essentially, and they're now officially businessly partnering with so-called news corporation CNN, which I think could have some disastrous effects, and it also is just like one more like step in the let's commodify and financialize every single aspect of being alive, including our news and information. Like it'll be determined by what how people bet on the fucking markets or whatever.
Right.
Also, the funny thing is, some people who are trying to defend this, they're saying Kalshi is not. It's not gambling. They're a prediction market or
right, like Polymarket,
an event contract platform. No, it's just betting, and it's betting on It's specifically people like betting on things like politics, economic policy, whatever. I mean, even weather, anything basically, from what I understand. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about all this? I'm kind of gathering my thoughts a little bit on it here.
When it comes down to it, basically, I think that what I think...
Call it politics. I think it's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't agree with it. And I think that it is, I wouldn't say that. I would just say BS or something. I might call it a load of poop. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like I said, it's like Polymarket, which is like fucking incredibly like disgusting or whatever. And like the problem is that people are too fucking stupid to understand things. So people have this, God damn it. I don't even want to like get into this a little bit because it feels like I have to explain, like, I guess basically I'm just being stupid because I'm like, I don't want to reference like wrestling stuff, but like, this is like a thing that happened in the world of professional wrestling fandom on the internet. And when it really comes down to it, like,
that is some really sick stuff.
Because there's like times where like, a random person on like a Reddit board for wrestling fandom will like, they've got scoops. They've got like, they know the inside information and they're leaking it to the internet to let people know. And then, and everyone, basically someone on the inside, they say,
I'm putting it on the internet.
And they like they put all the information out there. And the thing that got me was I would see people and they would be like, can people spoiler tag when this person posts? I don't want to see what that person says is going to happen because that's a spoiler. And it's like, you can't spoil something that hasn't happened yet because these are like predictions of saying like this thing is going to happen. So that would always like drive me crazy. But the thing about it is that there's like there is like a slight gambling market for wrestling. So people would like, they knew about this. They knew that people would like link stuff. Then people started to learn that if you followed the websites, the gambling where you can like gamble on like wrestling stuff online, you would see the odds shift based on when the smart money comes in. And this is a thing that's happened in sports betting forever, right? But I just watched like the internet wrestling fans like learn about this concept. And like, you watch it and you see like the way that the money and the odds and stuff move around. And then the only thing I can say is,
I'm calling bluff.
Because I'm just like, you don't know until it fucking happens. But when it really comes down to it, like people have like kind of bought into that hook, line, and sinker that like when the odds market shifts, that means something legit, that means the smart money came in. That means what's really going to happen. But because people like understand that, they like let themselves get duped by Polymarket Because Polymarket is like 100% just the odds are based on the bets of people speculating and no real information. And the odds aren't set by bookmakers who have any like inside information or know what's going to happen. It's just 100% democratized, right? But people are too stupid to understand that. So they think when they see the odds change, they think that that means something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything. It just means what people are guessing on. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with something like this, where it's like people are going to think that there's something to it when like whatever the odds are set and not realize that it's actually just based on like, you know, what stupid people think or whatever. But like at the end of the day, I can complain and I can say like this and that, but really we should all just
let's go gambling. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it.
Because, you know, let's just have some fun.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, it's just like playing the slots.
It's just like doing scratch offs or whatever. It doesn't matter. Stupid people are going to lose their money, but like, I mean, shit. I've always said this about like, again, like the scratch offs or the fucking lottery, like, and you know, whatever. You can say what you want about me. I'm like a fucking West Coast, you know, elitist or whatever, but if you're stupid enough to waste your money on fucking scratch off tickets, then it's better that you wasted it on that instead of what other dumbass thing you would have wasted it on that's actually going to hurt yourself. Because you probably would have just spent that money on food that's poison or booze or drugs, or you know what I mean?
But the other piece we got to like think about with this whole story is this conjoining of this company with a news company, which seems like, I mean, that's the difference that makes a difference from like Polymarket or something, right? It's not just like stupid people are going to lose their money. It seems like something like this could incentivize like people to go out and make the news, like, you know what I mean? Like start putting bets down on mass shootings and, you know, I don't know. You can imagine like all kinds of like fucked up things that could come with this, but with like news media specifically, I guess like by CNN tying themselves to Kalshi, I feel like it will just lead to what already kind of exists, I guess, anyway. But it's just like the market's opinion, like and it's like what people are betting on will become like the equivalent to oh, this is public opinion, this is reality, actually, this is the truth. And it's like based on basically, like you said, like the random whims of like people's guesses, like all whatever, like amassing together to make it look like, oh, the market's going this way, when in reality it's just pretty much like chaos that the people at the top in, you know, the real financial speculation markets are good at cheating and manipulating, but like we lessers obviously cannot be quite on that level, but seems like a big problem to me.
I mean, yes and no. People are gonna, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's bad.
It's also like CNN is already fucked. So I guess on that level, it's like, well, might as well go all the fucking way. But that's even maybe too nihilistic, even for me, possibly. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, I guess, because this is very hot piping news. Piping hot news? Is that what I meant to say? Yeah.
Right.
Hot piping. That sounds like something else. Oh, a fun one. Bryan, don't die. Bryan Johnson did something stupid. He took some, as he said, magic mushrooms and then live streamed himself doing so. I didn't watch any of this. Did you watch any of it?
Very little. A couple minutes of like when he was starting and he was like already tripping balls and like the person that was there with him was like, oh, like the timer says you're going to be peaking in like 2 hours or whatever. And he's like, what? I'm not even peaking now. This is crazy. And he was just saying like, yeah, I ate all these magic mushrooms, but
they make me sick.
And then he took off. So then like he was gone for a while and I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but what I'm guessing is
They make me vomit.
And that was where he was, because he was gone for a long time. And then that's when I just stopped watching because I had other stuff to do, like pull on my
left nut.
So you didn't see the all the fun guests like Grimes doing DJing a live set, or
no, but when Grimes came out, the one thing that I did say was,
"This is rock and roll."
Maybe the most notable thing I took away from it, besides how silly the kind of promotional like image for this thing looked, was that one of his like trip sitters essentially was Mr. Beast, which seems like the worst person to pick possibly, like to be around on hallucinogens with. Just my opinion. The guy gives me the creeps, and I think I would have a bad time if I saw his face on any amount of hallucinogenic drugs.
I think I'm getting the
But
fear.
that's just me. I guess I should have checked in to see like how his trip went, but who actually gives a shit? It was more about the spectacle that I set it aside, so... Also, I didn't recognize like almost anyone besides Mr. Beast and Grimes, that all of his like guests that were going to be there. I don't know who Hamilton Morris is. I don't know who Genevieve Jurvetson is. Do you know these people?
No idea, don't care.
Being old. Okay. David Friedberg.
I kind of hope that they all die.
Looking like a fun guy.
I don't like that. Yeah, he's looking like a fun guy. I thought that's what Bryan Johnson was eating, was the fun guy. You know what I'm talking about?
He did do yes, I do. He did do a long post about exactly what he was taking, how it's so scientific and blah, 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 measuring biomarkers and whatnot, and like how science suggests that psilocybin may have longevity effects. I don't know how true that is. Whatever.
Well,
and so he says all this science shit, and then it's kind of, you know what I liked about this? It made him seem a little more human to me, actually, than he usually comes off as.
Right.
Because he does all this like, it's going to be fun, but then also the science stuff, but then he just signs off with, "Come watch me trip balls." That's the last line. Somebody named Goth Girl was there. What the fuck? This just seemed like a bad idea.
The thing that I heard from somewhere was that the person that was like billed as just like quote unquote goth girl is like his new girlfriend.
Oh.
And like that's been part of this whole new move that he's been doing, where he's like more edgy. And he's like doing more like, you know, this whole taking mushrooms thing is he's trying to impress his cool new goth girlfriend or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Also kind of humanizing, I guess, too. And also humanizing is that he's gone full, like, you know, into full grift mode. Like in the beginning, his whole thing was like, I mean, he still does like share, I guess, a bunch of his data and stuff for free or whatever. Like he has some free things. I don't know, but he's also like hawking like olive oil and like different like branded shit, like AG1 powder style things and stuff like that.
Yeah. Groons.
Got to pay
you
the
know
bills.
What I'm sick and tired. You know what I'm sick and tired of, and I hope that Donald Trump can get rid of them, is all these fucking groons around. You know what I'm talking about?
The multivitamin.
Yeah, I've had enough of them. And I think we need to get him out of here. Yeah. Fucking groons, man.
Groons like Alex Karp and Gavin Newscomb, for example, who I saw various clips of. They were attending some, I don't know, public book event thing, as I wrote here in the notes, for like the New York Times. And I think it was being hosted by Andrew No Relation Sorkin, who was one of the main like showrunners or writers on Billions. Which makes me think, the more I've like found out about this guy in real life, that he was actually really into the stuff in Billions that I thought was being like satire.
Yeah.
He was like, the other two guys were like, oh yeah, we're like skewering like all this kind of like financial speculation world and all this bullshit. And he's just like, no, it's really cool. Like, let's make it look awesome.
Right.
That's my own speculation there. But anyway, all I really want to say is that, because I don't think I've said it on the show, and it's basically the thing, and I just want to be on the record as Alex Karp is one of the worst human beings I've ever seen in my life. He's, the CEO of Palantir. That alone is enough to make him one of the worst human beings ever. But he's so fucking annoying to watch do anything, to listen to. Peter Thiel, like, is very slow and can't like get a fucking sentence out, Alex Karp is like kind of
out for sure.
Alex Karp is kind of the opposite, but he still doesn't say anything. There's a bunch of words, but it's just like a bunch of like stuttering nonsense.
Right. Yeah, I was watching that clip and like someone was like implying like, like that he seemed like he was all strung out or fucked up on something. And I'm like, he doesn't really, I mean, it's possible, but he comes across more like he just has like uncomfortable, weird, spastic energy that's like even worse by like talking in front of people. Yeah. It's just like, bro, like you don't have to. Like he doesn't have to try to fucking talk in front of people. I don't understand why he does that. No one expects Alex Karp to do that,
It's this. Well, actually, I was gonna say but it's like the new era, right? Where like the robber barons, they don't remain like in the shadows in their towers anymore. Like they want all this fucking content creation shit. They want attention, and he's definitely no different. I mean.
Yeah.
On one hand, it's better for society, but then it's like it's a double-edged sword because then we have to see guys like Alex Karp existing.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of fun to laugh at, but at a certain point it's just like once you've seen it once, it's like it just is uncomfortable. Like the way he squirms around in the chair is like it makes me like physically ill to watch. And he does I get why people say he seems like on some sort of uppers or whatever, but like the other possibility is that like I usually immediately dismiss when I hear these fucking these technology brothers talk about how they only sleep 1 hour a night or whatever because they're always grinding and working so hard. It's like bullshit. You fucking sit around and do nothing, especially Iluba. Like that, he's like, I'm the hardest working man in the world. But it's like, dude, we know you're just tweeting all day. We can see the evidence. But anyway, but despite my skepticism about that, it's possible that this guy might be the exception and really is just like manic or whatever, and really up his own ass and thinks he's a genius. He thinks he's like a philosopher and some shit. Like, I don't know. The guy just fucking sucks so much. But yeah, maybe sleep deprivation could also explain like some of his spastic behavior, or it's just
like I said,
the tism. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's just a spastic person who's like gets even more freaked out by like talking and being in front of people. But when I do watch that video, the only thing that I can think is,
"Shut the fuck up, you nasty bitch! I don't know how the fuck you jump on my son, you little nasty ass nigga! Shut your little bitch ass up!"
That's what I think when I see him talking.
God damn, that was super loud.
and all fucking distorted.
Yeah. So I guess that's enough about Alex Karp. Just fuck that guy. If you've never seen him, like look up like one clip. There was one the first time I noticed this, like how he behaves this way and like doesn't know how to speak properly and whatever, can't sit still in his chair and stuff. It was a clip of him getting interrupted by like pro-Palestinian activist, because Palantir is like actively aiding and abetting genocide with its technology. And his reaction was, of course, like horrendous and stupid. But Gavin Newscum was also there at this event, and his whole thing was just this dumb thing. It was just like he said he'd be against any kind of billionaire tax because for the reason of the Democrats are a big tent party. So it's like, you're saying the Democrats are just full of pro-billionaire fuckers? That's what he's saying. He's like, we've got people that are against taxing the egregiously wealthy. So it's only fair, right? Like, goddamn Patrick Bateman motherfucker. And it's like it's very played to make that comparison, but it's just pretty apt whenever I think of the guy.
Right. Well, when I think of Gavin Newsom, I just think basically bastard. That wasn't very good.
I couldn't even hear what that was.
I know. It was not good.
Let's see here. Let's just read what I wrote in the notes to get it out. Cancel culture regarding Charles Nicholas Kirk. There was an article asserting basically that at least 600 people in America have lost their jobs for mocking Charles Kirk online in some way, which is just insane to think about. That this guy is like going to maybe forever be a martyr, at least for a certain faction of people.
Sure.
Which is
weird.
I'll just say dystopian. It makes me feel like I'm living in one of those dystopia places.
Fair.
But also I wanted to complain about this insane thing that's been happening on my phone, which I mentioned on the Discord. I get on a daily basis multiple times, and I've been noticing this for at least like a couple weeks now. So it's like a push notification on my phone from Newsweek, which I don't remember ever signing up for that. It's just happened somehow. And I'm only getting the same article that they wrote like on September 12th. And it says, I have 2 of them on my phone right now as I speak. Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, spoke in a live video stream on ... And it just keeps, it won't go away. And it's so weird. It's an old story. I mean, I guess it's just some glitch or someone's fucking with me. I don't know.
It's trying to make sure that you get that important information about Erica Kirk. I don't know what the deal is.
It's very bizarre. I can't explain it.
But yeah, I mean, people can say and think whatever they want, now. I do like the AI song about like, I am Charlie Kirk or we are Charlie Kirk or whatever.
I still haven't listened, but
it's very good. But when it really comes down to it, for me, and when I think about Charlie Kirk, basically, all I can say is,
"Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage."
Yeah, because fuck that guy.
Wait, so the still image I've been seeing of JD Vance singing, that's AI?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the real guy.
You know what's funny is I just thought that could be I didn't see the video. I just saw I scrolled by song about Charlie Kirk, JD Vance, and I was like, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't he sing a song about Charlie Kirk?
Yeah,
I just believed it was real. I'm gonna have to check it out though. This AI slop crap. All right, we're in the home stretch here, folks. Antisemites of the year. Everyone looks forward to this list every year, of course. Put out by...
I've been shunned every year going on, but I continue to believe that this might be my year, and when it all comes down to it, hopefully I'll finally get it. Yeah.
But everybody did their best, played their best. Let's shake hands and congratulate one another. I mean, the main sentiment I saw being repeated, which is worth repeating once again here, is that someone like Miss Rachel was put on this list, which is just nauseating on every level you can imagine, but not, say, Nick Fuentes, who's never been on their list either. Because I saw some article where they tried to like respond to this idea. Wait, I have it up still. I'm just going to read from these fucking bastards. I'll just read this part too. Okay. Last year's Anti-Semite of the Year winner was far-right pundit and conspiracy theorist Candace Owens. Winners in years past include Representatives Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. Totally fair. Rapper Kanye West. Actually fair. All right. And an executive at Ben & Jerry's. They put fucking Ben from Ben & Jerry's on there because he was like saying Free Palestine a couple times or whatever. So fucking dumb. Anyway, in a statement to The Independent, this was in the Independent UK outfit, Stop Anti-Semitism said, nearly every week, Stop Anti-Semitism names an Anti-Semite of the week. We determine the annual top 10 based on follower and press engagement we get on the Anti-Semite of the Week features throughout the year. Actors and other celebrities tend to attract a lot of attention, as they should, given their outsized role in shaping the culture. Regarding Ms. Rachel specifically, many parents were shocked and horrified to learn about her Jew hatred. And we received countless messages from parents who were upset, but nonetheless grateful to be alerted to her inappropriate actions. Such as, what did she say once? I'm not in favor of killing 20,000 children.
Yeah, she said
on purpose.
Babies should be allowed to live, and they were like, that's too fucking far.
She had a child whose legs were amputated on her show, and they danced together, and to quote the Alex Jones drop, it makes me cry. Right. Very anti-Semitic of her to do that, to make me cry. Okay, then this idiot closes out by saying, as for the reprehensible Nick Fuentes, we have been monitoring his anti-Semitism and at the forefront of acting against him since 2019. He was a finalist several years ago. Finalist, but couldn't win. Who won out? Yeah. Fucking Ben from Ben & Jerry's?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? Oh, the other hilarious thing about this whole thing is that Nick Fuentes felt snubbed and bitched about it on Twitter. He was like, why didn't I win this? I mean, obviously you expect him to say that, but like, it's still kind of funny to me that he's just very matter-of-factly was like, why am I not on this list? I should be number one with a bullet. Come on. Anyway, they go on to make excuses, blah, blah, blah. They say we do not recycle candidates from year to year. So I guess that's their excuse, is he was a candidate. He didn't win. But I don't believe that they don't recycle candidates from year to year. There's no way.
Right. I mean, they have people who are perennially on the list every year.
Exactly.
Candace Owens has been on the list multiple times.
Right.
Hassan Parker has been on the list multiple years in a row. Like, they definitely, keep it going.
Hassan Parker, Paul Davidson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that awful shit happened. Also, it's not even on the list, but like Netanyahu is like trying to get all the charges against him dropped right now by the president of Israel, which will probably happen. And horrendous evil continues to exist over there and elsewhere, of course. But let's end on a sunnier note, I think, as I have listed here as Trump's fun with numbers. Could be like a Wonder Chosen segment. Trump's fun with numbers. So this is the case of an Onion article, predicting the future. I think I didn't actually check to see if the article came out before or after this thing, but Anyway, I guess I'll just explain. The Onion article here, very funny. The Onion still got it. Every now and then I like to remind myself and the listeners that the Onion still got it, because sometimes I think maybe they've possibly lost it. But yeah, headline, Trump announces 5,000% increase in all numbers.
Remember, I said this right when I think it was last episode. I was like, all the numbers that are good, they go up, except for the ones that are bad. Those were the ones that went down.
Right.
Like that's
similar sentiment, but not exactly the same.
Yeah.
This one's just even more absurd than your absurd scenario.
Right.
Because it's only going up. Every number's going up 5,000 fold. But then I saw that, and then like very soon after I saw that, I see this. This is an exact quote from Donald Trump. My executive order to lower prescription drug prices, which I think is the single biggest thing we've ever done that nobody writes about because you're fake news, to slash drug prices by 200%, 300%, 400%, 500%, 600%, 700%, 800%. Nobody's ever heard of it before. That's my president, folks. Yeah, we could just leave it on that, right? I mean, what else is there to say?
Right. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, actually, what we could, I'll insert him actually saying that somewhere in the episode. Maybe make it part of the intro or something.
Please.
Yes, that'll be a good book ending. Intro and ending. Okay. All right. Well, at least I like to generally recommend things. So I'm going to do that now. I've got 2 items here.
Perfect.
What reminded me of this documentary film was last night I was looking for I wanted to share with my good friend this really cool thing that Cat Power did. Do you like Cat Power at all?
Yeah.
Cat Power is pretty cool. She did this great cover way back in the day where she mixed 2 cover songs together in this really cool way. One of them was Sonic Youth's Schizophrenia, and the other was from this like legendarily weird album made by a legendarily fucked up guy named Alexander Skip Spence. He did this album called Ore. Anyway, there's a very kind of disturbing song he has on that album called Weighted Down. So she mixed the 2 songs together. It's really cool. Anyway, maybe I'll put it on the episode somewhere or link it. I will link it. I'll link it in the recommendations part. But anyway, I sent that to my friend, and then I just wanted to send the 2 songs individually. So I did that, but I found the live version of Schizophrenia that is from my recommendation, which is a documentary called The Year Punk Broke, which I've loved since I was like a teenager. This documentary, it holds up. I've seen it probably not that long ago, and it's very fun to watch. It's basically when Sonic Youth and Nirvana were touring Europe together, but it was like right before, it was like 1991, right before, the explosion of whatever alternative rock music. So it was like when they were really happy. You get to see Nirvana like joyous, and like it's so great to watch. And you can watch it on YouTube. That's on YouTube. And there's also a version that like adds like an hour of extra footage, and yeah, it has like all these like little like vignettes between like the music that are mostly centered around Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth, and he's actually a pretty funny guy, so it's actually very funny as well. These little weird things he's doing throughout different European countries between shows. I mostly watch it for the Sonic Youth and Nirvana performances, but there's a couple of other band performances too. So like the Ramones have just one song on it, which is kind of weird. It's like, oh yeah, the Ramones were here. also, but highly recommend. And actually, I've changed my mind on the other thing I was going to recommend, so that's it. Do you got anything?
Fuck. There was something I was going to recommend and I forgot what it was. But we've been watching that show Pluribus.
Oh yeah.
And I want to anti-recommend that because it's not very good. And that crowded out my brain from recommending something good, unfortunately. So, yeah. Just don't watch Pluribus. It sucks.
Maybe you'll think of it when I give you my take on Pluribus. I really liked the first episode, and then it just got steadily worse from there. I even watched the most recent one last night, and I watched in air quotes because I had just stared at my phone the whole time because I don't know how you take a premise like that and make boring television out of it, but it became boring by the second episode, in my opinion. I was maybe still hanging in there a little bit, but like the first one where they established the premise, I was like all in. I was like, this will be good. It's Vince Gilligan, whatever, you know. But
right.
I agree with you actually that it goes downhill kind of quick. Did you even like the first? Or did you hate it all like immediately?
Well, okay. So the thing about the first episode is the idea that, like, yeah, I'm with you that it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting premise. So that's kind of like what makes it like the first episode feels okay. Is that like, oh, I'm like the premise is good, right, or whatever. So like you don't really have time for the show to be bad when all you've done so far is be like, you know, just introduce me to the idea and then whatever. So yeah, what I do like was I did like the take, because I was coming into it with like it being recommended and primarily hearing it's good, and then just like we've just not enjoyed it at all after that. But the negative take that I heard that I really appreciated was on Seeking Derangements, which was like their primary take, or at least like one of the hosts' primary take was like, it's bad because it's just a screeching dyke and fuck her, which was just awesome. Just like, I hate hearing fucking loud screeching dykes, and that's why it's annoying and I don't like it. And I was just like, that's so fucking good for that to be your take.
Sounds like that would be that Jacques character.
No, that was actually coming from Ben. Okay. Who's usually the most reasonable. But see, the thing is that Ben is gay, right? And as I've talked about many times, like straight up fully gay men are like insanely misogynistic, or can be. Jacques is bisexual, so, you know, he actually finds women attractive, at least somewhat. So yeah, and then obviously Hessa is a trans woman, so it's a whole nother story when it comes to that dynamic. So yeah, like it makes more sense that Ben is like, I fucking hate lesbians, whereas Jacques can be like, I'm whatever, it's fine. Because gay guys and lesbians just don't get along historically. You know, it's just not that's a fire and ice combo there.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
Historically as well. I think I am going to just go ahead and recommend the other thing I was going to recommend, which is I wrote this review of the screenplay for the movie adaptation once lifetimes ago, when I used to be heavily into Goodreads. And now I realize that I am forever locked out of my Goodreads account because the email I had linked to it doesn't exist. It's dead. It is completely gone. And it was like, anyway, whatever. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just like looked at that review the other day again and thought it was kind of interesting. It's very long. It's got like a kind of a hokey premise in it. It's just like very, very meta, extremely self-aware meta to like an absurd degree. And maybe some people will like to read that. I don't know. But also, I say I reviewed the screenplay. That was just my way of reviewing the movie.
Sure.
Although I had like read through the screenplay as well, because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Fair.
Anywho, join our Discord. Check out the show description, which will also link you to show notes, link you to the things we talked about as recommendations, to websites where you can contact us, and so on and so forth. And Tim's other projects, past, present, potentially future, are also linked in the show description.
There should be a new episode coming out pretty soon.
Okay, cool. QNTR. Check it out.
Yeah.
Also, I realized in this notes thing that I have that just reminds me to say these things at the end of the episode, I never actually say rate, review, subscribe, whatever, which is what I have written here. So I'll just say it now like that. It can help. It can help our little podcast to say nice stuff.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes people say not nice stuff on Reddit. I actually, you know what? I want to address one of those things. the very fake sort of apology letter thing I did on the last episode, I believe. Was it that? Yeah. It in a very feel good kind of way, me and the person I was referencing there hashed it out. And it's nice when that can happen, especially online. I mean, usually online disputes don't end nicely, right? So anyway.
Yeah.
Also, that's, I guess, a shout out to that listener, presuming they're still listening. I felt like we ended on a amicable note on that thread, whatever. And it's a little bit of a long one.
That's what she said.
And as Robert McKee always says to Charlie Kaufman after being asked, "Sir, what if a writer is attempting to create a story where nothing much happens, where people don't change, they don't have any epiphanies, they struggle and are frustrated and nothing is resolved? More a reflection of the real world." The real world? The real fucking world? First of all, you write a screenplay without conflict or crisis, you'll bore your audience to tears. Secondly, nothing happens in the world? Are you out of your fucking mind? People are murdered every day. There's genocide, war, corruption. Every fucking day somewhere in the world, someone sacrifices his life to save someone else. Every fucking day, someone somewhere makes a conscious decision to destroy someone else. People find love. People lose it, for Christ's sake. A child watches her mother beaten to death on the steps of a church. Someone goes hungry. Someone else betrays his best friend for a woman. If you can't find that stuff in life, then you, my friend, don't know crap about life. And why the fuck are you wasting my 2 precious hours with your movie? I don't have any use for it. I don't have any bloody use for it. Good night. Good luck. Good morning, Vietnam.
Weighted down by possessions, weighted down by the gun, weighted down by the river, for you to come. And whose socks were you darning? Oh, darling, while I was away, way too long. I went away to see an old friend of mine. His sister came over, and she was out of her mind. She said, Jesus has a twin who don't know nothing about sin. She was half crazy, out of her mind, weighted down by possessions, weighted down with a gun, weighted down by the river, for you to come. Her life dancing. She is insane. Her brother says she's just a bitch on a golden chain. She keeps coming closer, saying I can feel it in my bones. Schizophrenia is taking me home. Weighted down by possessions, I'm weighted down with my gun. I'm waiting down by the river for you to come.
The first voice recording was made in 1860. It was a 10-second fragment of the French folk song Au clair de la lune recorded by inventor Edward Leon Scott de Martinville. But who will make the final voice recording and when? What will it be? Who will hear it?